Okay. So how are you? Now, you see me with the cane, right? Well, let me explain it. I had spinal fusion, right? And yeah, no kidding. Anyway, you can make a joke out of this. I had a screw come loose. And there is a screw loose in my back. And yeah, exactly. Does it hurt? Yes! And then, not all the time, but every once in a while, if I do a certain thing like what I'm about to do right now, it feels like somebody's stabbing me with an ice pick. All right, so I'm gonna talk, and at any, hang on. Okay, there you go, ow. Okay, I'm gonna talk, I'm gonna tell you some stories, and at any point, please, if you have a question about any of the stories I'm talking about, just, well, you can give me a standing ovation now if you want, but if not, just stand up, raise your hand, ask the question, and I'll answer it. And why are you standing up? What? I didn't tell you to fuck off. I'm about to now, though. No, I was doing, I just finished a series for Netflix, Sci-Fi Channel in America, and a channel here in Canada. And it's with D'Onofrio, Kim Coates, myself, and a cast of thousands. It's called Ghost Wars. And I worked on it for 4.5 months in Vancouver. And, but the character I played was named Doug. And everybody in the cast got attacked by ghosts, except for Doug. Because Doug was mean. The ghosts were afraid of Doug. Doug got attacked by one, and he regretted it. So anyway, most people don't know this, but people know me from Rocky Horror, and if you actually think about it, people also know me from Bad Out of Hell, and so they go, oh, he's a musician. But if they just look at the years and go, wait a second, Bad Out of Hell came out in '77, and if I'm not mistaken, 10 people actually liked it. And Rocky Horror, they shot it in '74, and he did the stage play, and so, wait a minute, is he a musician? Is he an actor? What is he? I'm gonna give you the answer. I'm an actor. And I've always been an actor. I started acting, and I'll tell you how I got into acting. I'll give you a little side note first. I was playing a reservation in Oklahoma, and the council chief, I never let anybody come backstage before a show, just because I'm going off into I have a Meat Loaf character, okay? I have a character for everything. So, I'm getting into my stage persona, and they said, can he meet you? And I said, yeah, of course. So he comes in, he sits down, and I'm really interested in this. Now, you're making a lot of money out of this, because I was supposed to, a footnote, I was supposed to have opened the arena, because all the reservation casinos across America no longer have theaters, they now have arenas. And some of them hold up to 16, 17,000. So we were supposed to open, it was a 10,000 seat arena. And we were supposed to be the first band there. But the arena wasn't finished. And so they came to me about 4 days before and go, the arena's not going to be finished. Do you mind playing in a tent? I went, no. Are the people going to be there? And they went, yeah. I said, well, what difference does it make? And they said, actually, the tent is actually bigger than the arena, and we can sell 2,000 more tickets. I said, well, what are you waiting on? And so you get extra money that way, don't you? Yeah, so anyway, this tribal chief, I'm asking him questions like, do you split the money? Does the whole tribe get part of the money that's coming from the casino? Now the casino help, people in Vegas help build it. But the reservation owns 51% of it. I know this much now. And I said, so does everybody in the reservation share? Have you built roads? Have you improved your schools? Have you done it? I started asking him question after question after question. All of a sudden he holds up his hand and he goes, do you mind if I give you, just for our tribe, your very own tribal name? And I went, oh God, no. What an honor that would be. And he goes, okay, from now on, you're known in this tribe as Never Shuts Up. So that'll give you a clue into who I am. Now my wife has these rules. No, you can't talk to me, I'm writing an email. No, you can't talk to me, it's past 6 o'clock. No, you can't talk to me, I'm watching, what show is she watching now? I forgot. Oh, Shooter. No, I'm in the middle of Shooter, don't, no. And then she speaks through the commercials. So, she fast forwards the commercials. So if I talk to her, I have to go like, so I want to know if you're going to do this. Anyway, so, exactly. How many of you guys have that problem? Raise your hand. There you go, that's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, like about 100 of you. So, and so I started as an actor when I was a sophomore in high school. And the reason goes back to the Indian name, Never Shuts Up, because I kept getting detentions for not being quiet in study hall. And I went to counsel, I went, you've got to get me out of study hall. I said, this is insane. And she goes, well, there's a likeness. And I said, okay, well, what are they? She goes, there's drama. I said, perfect. I'm dramatic anyway. And so, I was going to be Fonzie and sitting in back of the class and be cool. Yeah, baby. But I got into it. And pretty soon I was up in the front row. And my first play was sophomore, and it was a play called A Bad Seed. And it is find it. It's a very strange play. Something I said, oh, you're crude. Okay, get out of here. So, it's a very strange play. It's about a 12-year-old little girl who is a serial killer. Kills the gardener, the milkman, the housekeeper. She kills about 7 people. But her favorite person, thank goodness, she even kills her mother. Her favorite person is her dad. And I played her dad. So I lived, and my character's was Colonel Pinmark. Her name was Rhoda. So it moved forward, and I'm auditing classes in LA and doing things, and I needed to make some money. So somebody said, you can sing, so why don't you get a little band? So I was actually homeless in LA for 9 months. And it was a very slow process, but I got there. I started with just a blanket, and the only problem back in the 60s being homeless in LA was the coyotes. But once they come around you about 10 times and you kick them, they don't come around anymore. They leave you alone. So I eventually worked my way into a sleeping bag. Then I got a tent, a little tent, a radio, and a lantern. And the bass player's mother would go to work, and I didn't have very many clothes, so I could go wash my clothes and take a shower. So I was a clean, homeless person with a tent. Yeah, come on down. It's like the price is right. So, and so then I got into hair on Broadway. I did Shakespeare. Yeah, babe, come on. I did Shakespeare. I did 5 other Broadway shows, including Rocky Horror on Broadway. And I played Dr. Scott in the play. And the director, Jim Sharman, they announced in LA who they were taking from America. Well, we knew Tim Curry, but they said his name. Like, yeah, no kidding. And then they said my name. And, well, I felt horrible for... Okay, so I felt horrible for the other people because they didn't call their name. They only called me and Tim. I didn't feel horrible very long, but I did feel horrible for at least 20 or 30 seconds. And so, was that a baby or a grown woman? Both. I got made a grown woman cry. Yeah, that's not unusual. So I did a lot of acting, and in fact, when we were trying to get Bat Out of Hell done, they kept saying to me, "You're an actor. Actors don't make records. You're like Ethel Merman." But Ethel Merman is an idol of mine, so that was a compliment. And they said to Jim, "Do you know anything about rock and roll? I don't know what you're writing. Your rock and roll is verse, chorus, bridge. If you want another verse, you can have a verse, and then chorus, chorus out. I don't know what you're writing. So it's A, B, C, B, C. You're writing G, D, F, Z, E, O, R, and they didn't make me mad saying those things to me, but they really made me mad when they would say things to Jimmy. And I remember standing, and I won't tell you the office because I've made up with him now and we're friends. It was rush hour, 5:30 in the afternoon, on 50s in the middle, between 57th and Columbus Circle, out in the middle of Broadway, screaming at the top of my lungs. I won't tell you what I was screaming because we're in mixed company, and but I'm loud, so he heard me even though he was on the 14th floor, trust me. And then he had the audacity later on to come and tell me, "I knew you could do it." Yeah, I won't tell you what I said to him then. Now we're friends though. And I go to his parties and he always announces me, and he did say on the Today Show, they asked him, "Did you ever make a mistake?" And he goes, "Yeah, I made one." I love the fact he said one. That cracked me up. Nobody else responded but me. And he said, "Yeah, I should have signed Meat Loaf." And I went, "Yeah, I knew that." And so, but when Bat came out, literally, I knew 10 people that liked it. And I've never worked so hard in my life at getting something done. So I understand discipline and hard work, and that's the most important thing. Now comes your turn. I need questions. Who's going to ask me a question? Not all at once. Go ahead.
If you have a question, I would ask you to line up here for me, please.
Come on. Don't be shy. You've got to have a question. Like, what shoe size are you? Do you wear hats like he's got on? Okay. Or is it a she? I can't tell.
Hi.
Have you got a beard?
No.
Oh, now I know you're a woman. You look like Groucho Marx from here. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. My question was, what advice would you give to young actors and performers?
Okay. The best advice is this. If you decide that's what you want to do with your life, then you have to dedicate your life completely to that and be disciplined to that. You can't go astray and go, oh, well, God, I really need to pay the rent, so I better go get a job in Woolworths. Hell no. Get a tent. You have to make up your mind, and even if you can't afford like classes, you can go to the teachers of these classes and say, I can't afford to pay you, but can I sit and watch you? It's called auditing. Can I audit your class? And sometimes you'll go in, and I took enough in college and in high school to know if I wanted to listen to this teacher or not. And most times I didn't, because I thought, what are you talking about? And they didn't know. The best, I'm not a method actor. I don't like method. Methods where you bring part of yourself into it, and I think that's why. I don't want to bring part of me into my character. Like the character I just did in Ghost Wars, no. His name was Doug. And there's nothing Meat Loaf about Doug at all. Nothing. And the best compliment that I can ever be paid is, I'll say to somebody, they'll go, wow, you were in 62 films? What films were you in? I go, Fight Club. I saw Fight Club. Who were you? I said, I was Bob. You were Bob? I go, yeah. They go, no. Yeah. That's the best compliment. They don't know who we are. My best friend in the entire world, I was doing a guest on House. About halfway through, he calls me up on the phone and goes, you're on House. I go, yeah, I know. And he goes, I just figured that out. I said, thanks, Brett. No, but that was a compliment. Because, and the other thing, when you watch in these TV shows where you see actors come on, and the host will say, so did you see the film? And they go, oh no, I can't watch myself in a film. There's the giveaway right there. They're playing themselves. It's like a phone answering machine. How many people want to hear yourself on a phone answering machine? Nobody. And so they can't watch themselves. I have watched everything I've ever done. And only one time did I walk across, and it was on a film with Michael Keaton back in '86, I think it was. And the director said they had wrapped, and he said, oh, need just one more shot. I need you just come through this door, walk across the room, and go out that door. I went, okay. I walked across the room as Meat Loaf, and it has driven me crazy ever since then. I can watch the whole film. I don't see me except when I cross the room. And I just, oh my God, come on. So I've never made that mistake again, trust me.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. No, I'm not giving you $10, so don't even ask. Go ahead.
Hi. I was just wondering if you could tell us the story behind the name Meat Loaf.
Okay, I'll do better than that. Okay, I'll give you my, because I do stand-up comedy from time to time. And like, you don't see my name on billboards, I just know people in comedy stores that own it. And I'll go in and I'll go, you got an extra 7 minutes tonight or something? They go, yeah, come on, babe. And I do everything improv. Improv is like, all improv is like, if you're gonna bake a cake, you have all the ingredients on the counter. And all you gotta do is put them together. So that's what improv is. You have a foundation and you build a house from there. So I'm gonna give you this story that I tell at the comedy club sometimes. So, hi, my name is Wesley, and as you can see, I'm a Dallas policeman because I got this badge here, and my son there, he looks like 9.5 pounds of round chuck. So what I want you nurses to do is, and by the way, I was 4 days old, I want you to make up a sign that says me. Remember, I'm a Dallas policeman. Make up a sign that says me and drop that in that little slot there and then move that little plastic cradle right to the middle of the room so that when everybody comes in to see their baby, they see meat. And I'm sure the nurses went, sir, we can't do that. I'm a Dallas policeman.
Thank you.
So I have been called meat since I was 4 days old. The loaf came in the 8th grade. And I stepped on a coach's foot and he screamed, get off my foot, you hunk of meat loaf. And if you're in 8th grade, you think everything's fucking funny. Oh, that was a swear word, wasn't it? Yeah. Next question.
Oh, shoot, sorry, I was...
Can you come closer?
Me?
Yeah, can all of you come closer? Because you're like in the shadows. I feel like I'm on... That's good. Not any closer. Did you shower today?
Sure.
Okay. Somehow I didn't believe that. Okay, go ahead, what's your question?
So this is a bit more, I guess, specific. There was an old Jim Steinman interview where he mentions the song All Wrapped Up in No Place to Go. It used to be a lot longer, more of a 10-minute long Battle of the Palatine one.
Listen, all of Jim Steinman's songs were over 10 minutes originally. The original Paradise was 22 minutes long. Now, Jim and I are passing emails back and forth. And what we want to do is we have 2 sets of original demos that nobody's ever heard. And there is how many know what Pledge is? You know Pledge? Okay. They go all over the world and they have this huge database and they're one of those spam things that they'll send you, but that's okay, I want them to send it to you. Because Jimmy and I are thinking about putting the demos from one year on one side and the demos from the other year on the other side, and not changing them because I think on one of them I started Bad Out of Hell and Jimmy was playing and he hit the wrong note and said, we're starting over. So, cool, I want to leave it on. So, we're not taking anything off, we're just going to master it. And so we're going to try to put out these demos that no one's ever heard. So, I don't know if there's a 10-minute version of All Revved Up or not. I don't know. But There would be a 10-minute version of everything, trust me.
And where would you go to find these in the future?
What?
Oh, you said you were planning on releasing kind of like the demos.
Oh,
Where
you
would
can't
go?
find them anywhere. Where are they? They're in my drawer. You try to break into my house, I got a gun collection, okay? I'm from Texas, dude. I got a 38 in my car.
Good to know. Thanks.
You think I'm kidding? No, too many people. See, that's why people in Texas don't get shot. Because everybody goes, they got a gun, so nobody gets shot. I know people are against guns, but look at the gun violence in Texas compared to Chicago. I mean, wow. Okay.
All right, I just have one question.
I gotta see this wig. Come on. Are those snakes?
Tentacles.
They're what?
Tentacles. I'm Ursula from The Little Mermaid.
Okay, you're Ursula from
The Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a grandson who's 6, and I'll ask him about Ursula later on today.
Yeah. So here's my question. It's more of your song lyric, back to you.
Will I dress like Ursula? No. Okay, go ahead.
No. On a hot summer's night, would
Yeah.
you offer your throat to the wolf with the red roses?
Depends on what she looks like.
I bet you say that to all the girls.
It depends on what they look like.
Thank you, I love it. Hi.
Oh, I know what you are. You're the invisible woman.
No, but that's okay.
Well, come forward. The invisible man dressed exactly like that. Oh, I know who you are. You're the bad kid in Bad News Bears. No, he played that character, rode the bicycle in Bad News Bears, and then later became that ink thing moves around on your face.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. It just seems like I don't.
Do you still know all the words to Hafatuti Bless My Soul? And if so, can you sing them for us, please?
Well, I can't sing them, but yeah, I know all the words. I know all the words to everything. Whatever happens Saturday night, I can't do it without singing it. But I know, of course I know them. In fact, I was the first one that ever could sing it with all the words. Everybody after that just copied me. And before that, they were Elvis. And when Elvis came to the show, he said, I'm scared to death. I couldn't talk to him. I'm a complete moron, okay? I just did this. And so he goes, well, I hear that most people that do Eddie, I did say this to him, they impersonate me. And I said to him, well, that would be stupid because there's only one you. And what would be the point of me going up on stage and impersonating you when the character is not Elvis, he's Eddie? And he went, yeah.
Hi. It's an honor to be speaking with you.
No, it's my honor.
The honor.
Get over that.
The album's just meant a lot to my father and then to me, and the whole family's going to see the musical in a couple months, and really appreciate everything you've done over the years.
Yeah, I'm not done.
One question
I
always
still
had,
have to win an Oscar and an Emmy. If you think I'm done, you're out of your mind.
That's great. One question I've always had is, I read that Jim Steinman had written originally Total Eclipse of the Heart with the intention of you recording it. And I think we can all agree that would have been an extraordinary version of that song to hear.
Did you just say something about a unicorn?
I'll try and speak more clearly. I had read somewhere.
Did you say something about a unicorn? No. Okay. Yes. Originally, that song, Total Eclipse of the Heart, along with Making Love Out of Nothing at All, was originally written for my third album. But CBS at the time was so angry with Jim Steinman that they refused to allow him to produce the record, and they told the producer that if he recorded any Jim Steinman song, they would not pay for it. We're talking about really stupid people here, okay? But, you know, Bonnie did an incredible job, and I'm friends with Bonnie, and I would never say I could do it better at all. She nailed it.
What I've always wondered is, and you touched on this a little bit when you were talking about the demos that you're talking about putting out. Does a demo exist of you ever doing that song, or another song that went on to be very famous by another artist that may someday surface?
Oh, yeah, I've written a lot of songs that I won't record, that other people have recorded. I had 2 number ones in the UK by a group called Bucks Fizz, but I wouldn't dare record them. They suck. And then I had a song that was number 11 that was the follow-up to St. Elmo's Fire that I co-wrote with John Parr. And that one didn't suck, but I wouldn't record it. It's like this. Writer people are not very bright. Okay, they're kind of sophomoric in their thinking. It would be like saying to Marlon Brando, you know, that movie you did, Streetcar Named Desire, Tennessee Williams wrote that. How can you possibly be good in that? It's like, is that dumb? Yes, because it's not about singing a song, it's about living a song. It's about becoming the song. It's about being in the moment. That's what acting is about. And for anybody to think that you can't sing a song because you didn't write it is just stupid.
Thank you.
Yeah. I didn't say you were stupid, okay? Are you?
Hi, I have 2 questions for you.
Is that allowed? Okay, go ahead.
Of all the songs you've recorded and performed, what would be your top 3 favorites?
Oh, for crying out loud. Then 2 that Jimmy didn't write. One written by Tom Waits called Martha. The other one written by Bob Dylan called Forever Young. And, but you have to put that in the middle of those, the song Bat Out of Hell. And you can't just pick 3. You can never, it would be like saying, I have 4 children, which three do you like the best? You can't say that. And these songs are Jimmy's children, and they're my children. So I can never tell you what is my favorite song, although Crying Out Loud is my favorite song. I like it. But the other two, I really like the moment that I was in, and the character that I put, because I do the last record, every character on the record, it was meant to be a symphony, by the way. Oh, God, people in record companies and iTunes, I want to strangle them. It was meant to be a symphony. So it wasn't meant to be judged as this song and that song and this song and that song. It was meant to be judged as one piece of music. And every one of those songs was a 19-year-old human being. And so I've never done a song that was not a character. I'm an actor.
Very nice. My second question is, out of all the stage productions and films you've been in, which is your favorite? I take it it's pretty much the
I
same.
think I just answered that question. No, I have favorite directors. I can't say that, I mean, when you work with Sam Jackson or Michael Keaton or Brad Pitt or Ed Norton or Bill Macy or any of these incredible actors, and you have the opportunity, Vincent D'Onofrio just now, and you have the opportunity to stand in the same space with them and to work with them. It's amazing. And Vincent actually said the same thing about me in San Diego. Thank you, Vincent. And so, no, he's not here. That was like, he looked over there for me. That's funny. You thought about doing stand-up? Anyway, so, no, you can't. I can have directors, Dario Argento, in a little thing for Showtime called Pelts, David Fincher, Fight Club, Dennis Quaid. Two of my favorite directors were both actors, Antonio Banderas and Dennis Quaid. Antonio for Crazy in Alabama, and Dennis for Everything That Rises. I played Dennis's best friend in Everything That Rises. So, people don't actually understand how much acting I've actually done. And the fact that some guy named Meat Loaf did Shakespeare. And I'll give you a good story. The first Shakespeare was As You Like It. And I went to Joe Pack, who was one of the biggest producers to ever live in New York, and produced more than, he was God of theater. And I said to him, listen, since we're doing Shakespeare, maybe we should not use Meat Loaf. Maybe we should use my real name. And he looked at me and he goes, what? You think if Bill wasn't alive today, oh no, he didn't say it. He said, what? You think Bill wouldn't use Meat Loaf? And walked away. And I'm sitting there going, who the hell is Bill? And what does he have to do with this? And then I went, oh, William Shakespeare, he's calling Bill. And then if you read Shakespeare, if Bill Shakespeare had known me, I guarantee you, Meat Loaf would have been in a Shakespeare play. I'll put money on it. You want to bet?
I believe you.
I'll get some friends of mine and we'll have a seance and call them back. Trust me, I can do that.
Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah. That's all right. Save your applause until he finishes. Okay, go ahead.
In regards of the bio that they did on TV, what did they get right? What did they get wrong? What do you
Okay,
wish
say it again. What was what?
They did a TV bio on much music plays of your life.
Was I talking?
You were played by somebody else. I'm just wondering if you've ever seen it.
Was it on A&E? Or was it on Showtime?
It probably has been. It's been played for, I think it's been since.
Well, first of all, I wouldn't believe anything.
I'm just wondering whether it was true to life.
What we're talking about here, believe this. This is
Real life, right now.
this is a real thing.
Okay.
And that reminds me, for the people that put this on, they have a picture of Eddie, and I don't know why it's Eddie and not me, but that's beside the point. And underneath that, they have I was still talking to you. So, no, underneath.
I apologize.
No, don't apologize. Just don't fucking walk away again. So anyway, they took the bio from IMDb, and it's like, what is that? WikiLeaks, or what's that called? Yeah, anybody can write anything. If you get a password, you can go on there and write I'm an alligator. And they use that from IMDb. And I kept getting calls about, would Meat Loaf be interested in doing a diabetes commercial? And I kept going, why are they calling me about doing it? I go, and so I get them to call them back. They go, well, he has diabetes. I'm going, no, I don't. And I finally got one of them on the phone and says, well, it says you do on IMDb. And I read it and I went, I call him back, I go, I don't. And let this be a lesson to you. Don't believe everything you read. No, you don't.
So I just want to say this is a huge honor.
Okay, hang on before you go. What are you dressed as?
A Jedi Knight.
What?
A Jedi from Star Wars.
You lost part of your costume.
Yeah, don't think so.
Okay.
So I want to say this is a huge honor for me because back in high school, I used to always try to sing and always try to get out there and be energetic. I was often bullied by a lot of people, they'd make fun of me, but I would go home and I would blast Out of Hell 2, and I would sing from beginning to end. I'd stand on my amp, I would go wild, and this year I actually got the honor of going on stage and performing 2 of your songs. So I need to know, between I Would Do Anything for Love and Paradise by the Afterlights, which is your favorite to perform?
By far, my favorite to perform by far is Paradise. I don't particularly enjoy performing anything for love, okay?
That's
Straight up truth. I don't enjoy it.
That's
And I'll explain to you why. It was #1 in 29 countries. And the least amount of weeks that it was #1 was in the United States. And it was #1 for 5 weeks. We had it #1 in one country for 21 weeks. So when people come to hear that song, I don't know whether they do or it's just my mental block, but it has to be perfect. And nothing can ever be perfect. Where Paradise doesn't have to be perfect. Paradise just has to be fun. And anything for love is not fucking fun.
I can agree with you on that. So once again, I do understand it's a huge honor.
No, we're not. No.
Thank you so much for everything
You're
you've
welcome.
done, and I look forward to all your future work.
Does that say what?
Wikipedia says you're an alligator now.
I appreciate that. And at least finally, somebody will get something right. Okay.
I just want to say thank you because my parents' wedding song was actually Heaven Can Wait. And they're now been married for 25 years. And that was just a statement.
And they're still alive and you're still
We're
together.
still alive and still together. Now
Then heaven can wait.
Yes. And I was also wondering what you thought of Adam Lambert's portrayal of you in the new one.
Okay. I'm friends with Adam, and when I was doing this series, I'm really good friends. I was very good friends with Freddie, and with Brian, and with Roger, and still talk to Brian all the time. And I sent Adam an email after. I didn't watch all of Rocky Horror, I just watched him. And I wrote him an email, said, you did a really good job, except for the best you can be is number 2. And then I saw him in Vancouver, and he said to me, I got your email, and you're right. I said, yeah, I know that. Are you always this shy? What? Oh, okay. And then you turn into a wild woman later on, right? 2 shots of tequila, look out.
What songs do you recommend for the people who are new to what you do?
Are you new to what I do?
Yeah, kinda.
Pick one. Pick one. Pick one. How about It Just Won't Quit? That's one that people don't know that well, but that's an amazing song. Life is a lemon and I want my money back. Oxygen in the rearview mirror. That's a mind-boggling song. But watch me do it live. Go on, find it on YouTube, watch me do it live before you listen to it on record.
Okay.
Because it's about, performing, and it drives me crazy, these singing shows. The only person to ever have said it was Miley Cyrus. And she said, and it blew me away, she goes, you don't just feel a song, you have to become the song. And that's it. It's like acting. If you just play yourself, you can never watch the film. But when you become the character, you can watch it. So watch me sing one before you listen to it.
Okay, thanks. I will.
Yeah.
I grew up in northern Quebec, and I moved to Montreal. I didn't know anything about rock and roll. I walked into a record store, I saw
Do you speak French?
Absolument.
Fermez la bouche tout de suite. Okay, go ahead.
I saw the cover of your album, didn't know anything about your music. I bought it purely on the artwork. Love the music.
You saw what? When's the album?
Bad Out of Hell.
Oh, first one, okay.
I was 13 years old.
That's a good
When
age
it
for
came
that
out.
cover.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to know who chose the artwork.
Who did what?
Who chose the artwork for the cover?
Oh, well, that was Jimmy's idea to have a motorcycle fly out of a grave, and we had all these preachers about, oh, it's evil, and I finally went on one of those shows and I go, you know what? You need to look at something the way it is, not what your perception is. The guy coming out of the grave is an angel. Evil is on the tombstone. The guy coming out of the ground is coming out to fight evil. So before you call something evil, look at yourself. And you have nothing to say about it.
Hello, Meat. I think you're awesome. I've been following you for...
I've been following you all day.
Hey, babe. See you on Sunday. Photo op.
I saw that dress and I gotta find out where she got it. Okay, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask you about The Apprentice, your experience on it. First of all, we saw a very touching side of you. I really felt I got to know you. Was that the real you? Was a lot of that an act, or was it real? And how was the experience?
No, I don't act, dear. The only time I act is in film. What you see is what you get. I am real. I don't put on anything on that show. I wasn't acting for anything other than my charity, Painted Turtle, and my good friend Lou Adler. That's what that was about.
That was awesome.
And I had no idea how I got on this show.
Was it a positive or negative experience for you?
Say what?
Was it a positive experience, the whole show experience?
Overall, yeah. Overall, yeah. I was a little angry at the end over something that John Rich, Little John and myself did, and to raise money for all our charities, and we were told that this would happen and it didn't. But it's show business.
Okay, thank you.
Don't believe everything you hear.
Looking forward to seeing more of you.
But The Apprentice was positive in the fact that you did work for a lot of charities and for a lot of deserving people, and that's what you were there to do. And if you were there because you wanted to be seen on TV, you were there for the wrong reason. So, and there were people there that wanted to be seen on TV. I wasn't one of them. It's like, I don't do red carpets. I walk around them.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you have any stories to share about working on Chef Aid with Isaac Hayes, Trey Parker, and Matt Stone.
Well, Isaac Hayes and I were really, really good friends. And he would show up at shows and come in and he knew a lot of the songs. So we had an organ guitar player at one time. The guitar player would just move over and play acoustic guitar. Isaac would sit up on stage and play the organ. And he knew the songs. So Isaac was like a member of the band that wasn't there half the time. But what really freaked me out was I didn't know Isaac was a Scientologist. And I knew him really well. But he wasn't that Scientologist that you hear about. He did amazing work in Africa for the children in Africa, building schools, making sure they had water, really giving them the best he could at a chance at life. And so Isaac was an amazing human being. And they had a memorial at the Scientology building, and I showed up there and I went, where the hell am I? And then all of a sudden, this guy, I'm standing in line with all these other people, this guy comes and gets me and puts me in this room by myself, and I looked at him, it was a joke, but they don't have much sense of humor. I said, was I bad? And he left. I went, okay. That went over, that didn't go over very well. So, then all of a sudden these people all came in the room with all these badges and things around them, and everybody just stared at me like I was an alien from the planet Krypton, and no one would talk to me. It was very strange. And then finally, two people did sit down and talk to me, and they said, oh, what's your name? I said, Meat Loaf. They went, oh, we know who you are. I'm going, I don't know who you are. And they go, oh, I'm Tom, and this is my wife, whatever it was. And then a few minutes later, the guy came and got me, the same guy that left me in this room all by myself. And there was nobody else out in this courtyard, just all these chairs. And he set me in a chair in the front row. And I'm going, I don't think I'm supposed to be here. And so people started to come in, and the front row was still empty. And all of a sudden, this lady comes up and she goes, excuse me, sir, I don't mean to be rude, but this is reserved for the family, and I don't think you're part of this family. And I went, no problem. She goes, I've got a really good chair, 2 rows back on the end. I said, great, get me out of here. So I went and I sat back there, and about 5 minutes later she came up and she goes, I'm so sorry, you were in the right seat. I went, no, I'm good here, no, you're supposed to be up there. I sat between his brother and his mother. And his mother said to me, you have no idea how much Isaac loved you. And I said, you have no idea how much I loved Isaac, but he was a Scientologist. He went, yeah. Did a lot of great work and used a lot of their money. I said, great. There you go.
Thank you.
And that's it. Y'all, thank you for coming. I love you all. And I have one more thing to say. Keep rocking.